I tell you what, I'm having a rough time. We were talking about it a minute ago. I do the Troop games on the radio. Went to Troop High School. All my kids have gone to LaGrange High School, and I've been able to say "Go Blue." I've been able to say "Go Team." But as I sat there in Heard County on Friday night, and I watched the LaGrange High School Grangers take on the state champions in AA from last year, a team that is a lot of people said that we're going to beat you by over 30 points. And I saw that the Grangers come away with a big win. I actually stood up and yelled, "Go Grangers!" Amen. It finally, y'all got his mic on there? All right. It actually happened. And Coach, y'all played a great game.
Yeah, it's the first game coming out, and, you're going to have a lot of blunders. There's going to be delay games. There's going to be motions. There's going to be penalties and those kind of things. And sometimes they're sloppy because the speed of the game is, when you play your scrimmage game. And that's why it's so important to schedule a scrimmage game that's going to challenge you and get you prepared for the first game. We certainly weren't last year, a year ago. Sometimes you'll spend the whole first quarter trying to just stabilize everything, letting the dust settle. Same thing happened again. They jumped up on us 9-0, and there were 2 blown plays on defense. We had a blown coverage, a blown assignment against them last year and gave them their 27-yard touchdown, and that was the only touchdown they scored against us. A year ago. And so it was one to, again, coming out, let's play it conservative. Let's play great defense in our first 2 or 3 series, let our offense kind of settle in and make sure what we anticipated for game plan is how we can attack them. And, again, we were a little bit slow to start. But, when you come out with a W and you can learn without taking a loss, that's the best thing in the world on a Friday night.
Well, Coach, I was having a discussion with my wife at the ball game. A LaGrange High team that got down in the past. It's tough to come back from that. You got down by 9, and that was the margin of victory last year was only 7. I think it was like 7-0. I think when y'all took them on last year. So it's 9-0, and for guys that haven't won in a while, I'm sure that there was a moment where they're like, "Uh-oh, here we go again." But wow, the second quarter, the defense began to step up and then shut them completely. Now, I don't think they had a first down in the second half, did they?
No. Matter of fact, they had 4 first downs. 2 of them were by penalties, and they were all in the first quarter. Mm-hmm. Those are the only first downs of the night. I think we held them to less than 60 yards passing and right at 60, 62 yards rushing, on the game. But again, that's, it's early in the season, and that's not, we're going to play sound defense. We've always played sound defense. We got down 9-0. I joke with everybody. I told them our coaches were a little bit more stressed because I got so many new coaches. My kids are like, "Well, this is normal. We're used to this." Last year's was 10-3, and so it was just one of those where, we know we're a different team, and we needed to buy the time to let our kind of offense settle in. Obviously, some things jumped out at early on. Our I don't even know what it's called on our huddle remote, our waypoints or whatever, our relay on the huddle remote went out. And so we didn't have huddle sideline. So we couldn't even see. Matter of fact, I just had to send Coach Wiggins some more film because we sent him a wide view, and it looks like it was filmed from the blimp.
Little ants crawling around.
Yeah, you can't even
like the old buzz tables.
Coach, it was awful. So I sent him our tight view. I just went back and saw it today, and I was like, "Holy smokes, we can't send that to Callaway." But again, it was one of those things where week 1 things happen, and we check and recheck, but things are still going to happen. It's just a matter of how do you adapt to them, and that's where we felt like we found some things that we wanted to go. Based on where Herd was with their new players and very, very talented team, but right. I felt like they lacked a lot of game experience, and they were green. And I talked to Coach Barron about it before the game, and so we really felt like we could wear them down, as the game went on. And so I intentionally held off a couple plays until the third quarter, so they didn't have a halftime to make adjustments based off film. And, that proved to kind of be the turning point for our offense in the third quarter where we, really started making headway and moved the ball. Not at will, but we moved the ball pretty successfully.
Well, we'll talk about that, how they moved the ball, the scoring in the second half, and just the Rangers coming out with a big win to start the season. We come back. Right now you're listening to the Coaches Show, live from Your Pie, sponsored by Kia LaGrange on Eagle Sports.
At Wellstar West Georgia Medical Center, we believe teamwork makes all the difference in your health. We believe that skilled people can achieve higher standards and exceptional results. We believe in a game plan that's focused on patient safety and quality care. At Wellstar West Georgia Medical Center in LaGrange, we believe in life well lived. To learn more about award-winning healthcare, visit wellstar.org/WGMC.
State Farm, Kathy here.
Hey, it's Mike. My team just pulled off the biggest upset ever.
Nice, Mike.
And some fans are getting crazy. They even flipped over a car.
Whoa.
Turns out it's my car, though.
Oh.
But I don't want to be upset right now. I want to know State Farm's going to take care of this, right?
We got you covered, Mike.
Yes! Woo!
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Your State Farm agent is Matt Orr on the square in downtown LaGrange.
Rogers Barbecue in LaGrange has been locally owned since 1945, and they have daily lunch specials for only $7.29, and that includes your drink and dessert. Tuesday night from 5 to close is all-you-can-eat ribs, and Thursday's all-you-can-eat catfish, and with their Brundrick stew is famous throughout the region. They proudly serve only U.S. farm-raised catfish, so dine in or use a convenient drive-thru Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. at 117 New Franklin Road in LaGrange. So come join the crowd at Rogers Barbecue.
Isn't life crazy? One day your fender gets dented by a runaway shopping cart. The next day, your kid's college entrance exam is a runaway success.
Yes, I got accepted.
But that's life. Some days you're the bug, some days you're the windshield. No worries, your State Farm agent is here in all of life's moments, the good and the not so good, to help life go right. So good day, bad day, any day, let's talk.
State Farm agent Matt Orr on the square in downtown LaGrange.
Now back to the Kia of LaGrange Coaches Show, live at your pile LaGrange.
Welcome back to the Kia of LaGrange Coaches Show, live here from Europine with Coach Chuck Gibbs, and we're talking about Greg. Are you out there at the car? Greg and Coleman were out there at the cadenza. Did you see the car as you came in?
Yeah, he tried to get me in it, man. I was going after that hot pizza.
Well, right now they've got Greg. Are you in the back seat or Coleman?
This is Greg G-R-E-G-G Hicks here, sitting in the cadenza, waiting to head out of town.
No, you're just one G. I got another friend that's a double G.
I know, but for commercial it sounded good.
Yeah, you're just a one G. Is there room for Coleman in that back seat?
He's already said home, Greg.
Plenty of room in the back.
Yeah,
plenty of room there. So you are his chauffeur tonight.
With his long legs, there's plenty of room. They got 5 people in the back seat if we need it.
Wow. Now, we're going to have these cars here as we do the show all season long. Again, it is amazing how much room is in that car.
Hey, all right, Jack, I'm going to do this and let Greg see it, and he's going to go, wow, watch this.
All right. This is great radio as we're trying to watch this happen.
It's just live radio, and with live radio, you never know when that gator's going to come in.
Is Coleman actually cranking it?
Hey, there's a sunroof here, buddy.
Isn't that cool?
Oh, wow, okay, there is a sunroof on that thing.
Just amazing.
Sweet! We're doing the LaGrange show now, Greg. Thank you.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, put your hand back in the car before it gets shut off.
Yes, sir.
But it's a wonderful car. We'll have a lot of the different Kias out here on Monday nights as we're enjoying their sponsorship of our show. And Coach, I was talking to him. I think that we need to make it the official coaches trailing car that can take you to all the away games. That just you and your coaches, you jump into a Kia and head off. What do you think?
Sign me up for it. Where do I sign that contract?
I think if we can make that happen, I think if nothing else, let's send the radio crew. I think I see Luke nodding, my producer over here. He thinks that's a great idea. So
yeah, just remember this is Troop County, not Colquitt County.
All right, we're going to step away. When we come back, we've got lots more to talk with Coach Gibbs about as the Rangers had a big victory, 24-9 against Heard County this past Friday night. But right now, you're listening to the Coaches Show live from Your Pie, sponsored by Kia of LaGrange, right here on Eagle Sports.
Hi, friends. TOWD here with Kia LaGrange. This month, we are featuring the workhorse, jack of all trades, the midsize SUV, the 2019 Kia Sorento. We're talking about safety, comfort, technology, and third-row seating. Right now, you can ride away in a brand-new 2019 Kia Sorento L model, only $22,990. Yep, $22,990. You can also check us out online at KiaLaGrange.com. Help support your local economy. God bless America.
Stock number 111598. Price plus tax, tag, and title. Offer good through August 31st, 2019. See Kia of LaGrange for complete details.
The Medicine Cabinet has been proudly serving the community since 2009. Their experienced and friendly staff are committed to making you feel comfortable and cared for. At the Medicine Cabinet, they believe that being a local, independent pharmacy allows them to provide health care and compounding services that are customized to meet your every need. They invite you to come and see for yourself when you're there. You're a part of the Medicine Cabinet family. They will do everything they can to make you feel right at home. Locations in LaGrange on Vernon Road, Lee's Crossing, and Moody Bridge. The Medicine Cabinet on the web at medcaprx.com.
State Farm, Kathy here.
Hey, it's Mike. My team just pulled off the biggest upset ever.
Nice, Mike.
And some fans are getting crazy. They even flipped over a car.
Whoa.
Turns out it's my car, though.
Oh.
But I don't want to be upset right now. I want to know State Farm's going to take care of this, right?
We got you covered, Mike.
Yes! Woo!
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Your State Farm agent is Matt Orr on the square in downtown LaGrange.
Kemp's Dalton West Flooring, your locally owned and operated flooring professional since 1977. With a huge inventory of hardwood, tile, carpet, area rugs, and vinyl flooring, add the wonderful installation crew that gets the job done right, and you'll enjoy your flooring for years to come. So drop in and pick out your flooring, and they will measure your home and give you a free estimate quick. Kemp's Dalton West Flooring, located at 1287 Lafayette Parkway in LaGrange, or on the web at daltonwest.com. And like Kemp's Dalton West Flooring on Facebook and Instagram.
Now back to the Kia LaGrange Coaching Show, live at your pile LaGrange.
Welcome back to the Key of LaGrange Coaches Show, live from Europine with Coach Chuck Gibbs. And we're talking LaGrange High School football, 1-0 on the season now after a big victory against Heard County, 24-9. Coach had a chance to sit in the stands because it was an off week, and really pleased with the way that the fan support was there in Heard County. It's a great venue. Everything's kind of funneled into a little bowl there. Great crowd on the Heard County side, but just as much or equal to it on the LaGrange side.
Yeah, we had a big deal, Friday at school, and just felt like we carried a lot of momentum coming from behind to win our final game of the year, homecoming game against Shaw last year. And, again, the student body, the band, everybody was amped up to go. And, it was overcast skies. We thought we were going to get rained on, and then we turned around, and our bleachers were full. And,
they were a little wet.
It's a good thing when, the Grangers travel well. We're ticket gates for a lot of programs and haven't been in the past years. Mm-hmm. And so, great energy, tremendous energy from there. After the game, after the first win of the season, I always send the players up to go celebrate with the band. Just to, look, we appreciate you and all you do for us this year. This game's in your honor, and we want to honor them and the cheerleaders and all the fans for supporting. And so it's one of those, we don't do it to embarrass our opponents of all. We just, again, the first victory of the season, I've always been, hey, let's go celebrate with our fans and our team and let them know it matters for them to travel with us.
Well, and it's the student section was a blue crew, almost like we have at Callaway Stadium. It was full of kids.
Yeah.
And they were having a great time up there, waving the shirts and jumping up and down. Jarrett Farrell does a tremendous job with the band program, and the little incidentals playing between plays. He gets those folks fired up. And I've never had a chance to hear him at halftime because I'm always doing a halftime show or something like that. He yells out, "Play it like you're going to play for your mama," or something like that. "Play it for mama" in the middle of it. And I texted him and I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "You do your best for your mama." And I want them to always do their best.
Maybe I should use that as that might be my pregame talk against Callaway.
Play like you're going to play for your mama. Coach, you talked about the defense. It has been strong. The 2 interceptions in the ball game, I thought your secondary played a very good game. Was it 3 interceptions?
Yeah, we had 3 picks, had a fumble recovery, and then, we had the punt where, we put pressure on them, and, it was a low snap, and, the punter down their knee, and that, basically constitutes a block punt.
Yeah.
And another turnover. And again, anytime you have 5 and you give up 0, we were talking about it today. When you win the time of possession and you win the turnover battle, you're more than likely winning the football game. And there's some exceptions. But again, we got a brand new defensive staff. Dave Watson was with me last year, and we brought the defense that I ran, and I've run for years, but in Arizona. And, I think we finished second in the region in total defense and like 5th or 6th in the state in 4A in total defense, points per game. And, again, we brought in a new defense coordinator, and Thomas Crocker's back, from the college at linebacker. Quay Huzzy's still there as a linebacker coach, so I got 2 really good ones. Corinthians Bailey's in the crowd there. He's coaching our defensive line, and what Ben Thrasher and Crocker and Coach Bailey have done together is, they've taken our defense and now they've honed it from a standpoint of it's 3 coaches instead of 2 coaches, and so they're able to do it more. We were lights out. You don't ever play a team as good, as well coached as Herd. Granted, they were young,
right.
Young in experience, not young in age. But anytime you go where you're giving up four first downs and they're only coming in the first half, you're going to be in the game. I'm really excited. And I know we'll talk about it next Monday, but our upcoming opponent is probably going to be one of the top offenses we're going to face this year in Callaway. And we've ventured to think that we've got the best defense around. And those are going to be competitive games, and they're great chess matches to play. But again, having 2 interceptions, AJ Traylor, a junior, at free safety, and then our senior cornerback Charles Miller getting a 3rd interception. Our other corner, sophomore Montavious Martin, he's a Division I player. He was blowing kids up on punt team, on kickoff. And again, when you got a young kid that's starting and yet he's not content with starting on defense, he also needs to make a name for himself on special teams. Those are special talents, and that's when you know your program where you want it. You
talk about the kicking game, the 3rd phase, your PAT field goal, kind of by committee right now. Caleb Seha kicking most of those. Then you also had Micah Prophet kicking the ball. But the punting game, one of the big plays of the ball game was a punt where Charles Crawford took it, had a lot of pressure on him, had to roll out, and then sideways kick the ball down the field. You're hoping to get 15, 20 yards out of something like that. He booms it, 40 plus?
Yeah, and again, we got the roll, but when you got a veteran like Charles Crawford who plays with poise, his decision making was exceptional. And there's a blunder, and I've told him all year that, look, if it's a low snap or anything you're not comfortable, one step and get it off. Imagine the fakes that are coming with a quarterback of his caliber and his arm strength and his legs. And again, when you got a guy that you can put back there that's still going to be able to give you a 30, 35-yard punt consistently, he's not going to bobble the snaps. He's got the ability to work both run and pass fakes. It provides another question mark when teams line up to game plan against you.
Well, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about that offense as we continue to celebrate a big win for the Grangers, 24-9 over Heard County this past Friday night. Right now, you're listening to the Coaches Show live from your Pie, sponsored by Kia of LaGrange on Eagle Sports.
Hello, this is Jonathan Moosemat from Glenn Smith in Opelika. We are proud that we have expanded our lot to an additional 100,000 square feet. We have increased our inventory by over 200 more vehicles. We have the largest inventory ever with over 600 vehicles for you to choose from. Chevrolet, Buicks, and GMCs, plus pre-owned vehicles. In our 27th year of serving East Alabama and West Georgia. For the best prices around, come to Glenn Smith Chevrolet Buick GMC in Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Life costs money, sometimes lots. First Franklin Financial has loans for living. Our Hogansville and LaGrange branches offer personal loans from $300 to $15,000 with payment plans to fit any budget. Stop by and meet the friendly Franklin folk at the location near you. Visit oneffc.com to learn more. All loan terms and applicable APRs depend on meeting our underwriting and income criteria for the loan size requested and may require collateral. Georgia Residential Mortgage Licensee number 5656.
If you need medical treatment at the highest level and want care that's personal, turn to WellStar. We offer the latest procedures at Georgia's first certified comprehensive cardiac center, along with an innovative approach to fighting cancer, where specialists collaborate to accelerate diagnosis and treatment. We're also home to a top-level stroke program that performs life-saving operations every day. At WellStar, we care for the whole you. Learn more at wellstar.org.
In 1916, Auto Owners Insurance teamed up with local independent agents so customers could get fast, friendly, local service. Bravo! It worked so well, we decided to keep it that way. And 100 years later, we still do things the same way, by teaming up with local independent agents who deliver quality, personal service. Some might call that old school. But then again, maybe everything old is new again. Kind of refreshing, isn't it?
Mallory Agency at MalloryAgency.com. For all your insurance needs, it's the Mallory Agency.
Now back to the Kia of LaGrange Coaches Show, live at your Pie LaGrange.
Welcome back to the Coaches Show live here from Your Pie. We're talking LaGrange High School football. And Coach, I was talking to you before we went on the air, and I was watching the game, and I noticed there was a gentleman on the sideline, an older gentleman, and I was watching the kids kind of drift over towards him. They'd see their regular coaches. They get, how you did on this play or that play, but they kind of lean over, and there's this gentleman that I've now found out was your dad, Coach Gibbs, that was pulling the side and coaching them up every play. I mean, he put a hand on the shoulder pad, was in the ear socket, and just letting these guys know, getting them fired up, and just the electricity that he was able to bring to the sideline was pretty impressive.
Yeah, he's an old veteran. He's my war horse. He's my mentor. They got done. The Saints did an OTA with out in San Diego, and he called me. He said, how you guys looking? I said, we're okay. We got to clean some stuff up. He goes, well, buy me a first-class ticket, and I'll come spend a week with you. So we all joke about it. I'm like, man, I had to pay for that win. But he's just somebody that, obviously he's the architect of what we do, and he's done it at every level and had tremendous success with it. It doesn't matter whether he's coaching, fifth-grade kids or he's coaching, NFL Pro Bowlers. He's a teacher, teacher of the game, and the kids respond to him. He's got a great sense of humor. There's immediate respect, and, I could say it. Coach Cox can say it. Coach Bailey, Coach Thrasher, Coach Crocker. We can all say it, and it'll kind of go in one ear and out the other.
When he says it, it's...
When he says it, it is settled. And somebody made a comment, and they were like, well, don't argue with him, man. That's like arguing with Jesus about the Gospels.
Well, but he was coaching them up every play. I mean, he never took a break. He had a hand on the shoulder pad everywhere he went, and the kids they love that. I firmly believe young men respond to great coaching, and they just want to be around that. They want to get better. They have that desire, and they can sense someone that's going to be able to give them that edge.
Well, again, some of our biggest, return from it is, having him in our staff meetings, having him sitting with dinner and watching film and going through as we're scripting out our first 20 plays, and having him around to pour in. Heck, he's ripping his grandson on the sidelines out of from a screen pass, and. He's coaching the secondary. When they come off, he'll just cruise the sidelines looking to make an impact in someone's life off of a certain play. And when you see that, you're like, man, talking about the influence that we as coaches have. And I know Coach Wiggins and Coach Glisson both. We are all aware of our influence over the kids. But when you see it at his level, you're just like, man, I can do so much more. Yeah. And it just makes you want to be a better coach.
Challenge you. Yeah. Now, you mentioned another Gibbs. Calais had a good ball game. He had one of the biggest runs of the night. Now, you said it was an easy run, I think, over there when we were talking.
No, his was the setup run. His was the play I waited the third quarter to call because, we had seen, I had seen some things, through the first half of, how they were defending our number one run. And, our number 2, number 3, number 4 runs are complementary runs. Mm-hmm. And so we can run them out of the same formations with motions and angles, but they're going to hit it at a different spot. And so, I know he didn't get the big run at against Kendrick in that setup run, and that one went 55 yards. Mm-hmm. This one went 47 yards. But again, he hit the hole. He hit it so daggone fast. He hit it before the backside tackle had time to pull across. So he was actually in front of a pulling tackle, which is not the way we draw it up.
It wasn't designed quite like that.
But again, I look at it like, here I got a 16-year-old and his grandfather's on the sidelines, and all he's looking for is that admiration. Yeah. And those are the things that, it's still football and it's a game and we keep score. But those are the moments that are priceless. And, he hit the hole, has tremendous vision. He averaged just over 10 yards a carry the other night. And, again, some of our runs were, absolutely just stalled at the line of scrimmage based off their defensive penetration and what Coach Barron does and what he brings to the table with a great program. Right. And he's got kids that are plug and play and can come in. So we knew we had a challenge there. Where I was really blessed is, the leadership that Charles Crawford displayed and the confidence and the poise he played the game with. He called the game. He read coverages. I think he was 12 for 24, for 125, 130 yards. and probably had 7 or 8 drops.
We were talking about that before, that he was dead on with his arm. I thought he was putting the ball in just the right spots, had several drops, but again, we're early in the season. Guys are a little nervous. Again, it's a big ball game there in Heard County, but if we can keep cleaning up some of those things, I mean, man, the offense was moving the ball in the second half.
Yeah, I think we threw to 8 different receivers. And again, we talk about a stable. We got a stable of really good receivers.
Mm-hmm.
They're athletic. They run. None of them are big names. None of them are 5-star kids. But they all come to work every day. And as they get more and more fluent with not only my coaching, my offense, and my style, but Coach Pleasant's style, because he runs perimeter and he runs our pass and our 2-minute offense. And again, there's different there, and so you can't throw it all on the kids. And there were jitters, but it wasn't like there was one or two receivers out there dropping balls. Right. It was one here and one over here, and as you're able to spread the ball around, it really stretches the defense thin. And then having a consistency, and again, I got 3 running backs. Obviously Calais is our one. Andre Canny did a tremendous job from scrimmage game to week 1 improvement. He was the top of the group. His pass protection the other night was tremendous.
Yes.
And, his footwork's getting better, and his reads are cleaner. And now it's just time we're tightening up some stuff. But between him and then Caleb Ross, another junior who's, 220 pounds, if he gets open in midfield, if he's able to break through that first level, there's no one at the third level that's going to tackle him.
I was noticing your line, I think, seemed to get better, especially from a pass blocking standpoint. Charles was moving a little bit in the backfield in the first half. Second half, he got to kind of settle in and spread the ball out a little bit better.
Yeah, and again, that goes back to, we kind of settling into who we are. Mm-hmm. And, the neat part is, we got seven guys that are rotating through the offensive line, and only one of them's playing defense. On the defensive line. And again, when I tell people we're one of the largest in 4A, we're averaging about 284 pounds across the offensive line.
Roland's there in the front line, the center. Name's escaping me.
Will Flowers.
Yeah, Will Flowers. Big, strong, smart kids.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then, Kewan Milton is our right guard, and, he's a kid, he's broke his own squat record at LaGrange High School. 3 times, and he put up 645 and could have gone to 655 this summer, and he probably played the best game of his high school career Friday night. And when you got a 300-pounder that can squat 630, 640, and not have to play on both sides of the ball, you've got a bulldozer.
Yeah. Coach, congratulations, first win of the season. Great way to start things off. Settle things up in this next week. We'll talk about that, of course, next Monday night, and then looking ahead to Callaway coming up after that. So, you got a vision. You got to know where you want to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's fortunate that we're able to start the year off with playing 2 teams of the caliber of Herd and Callaway, mm-hmm. and not only just great football teams and tremendous athletes, but also great coaches and great football programs that are going to get you better.
Yeah.
And, and that's what we need now. We got a little bit of momentum. Kids got a little bit of confidence. We showed them the 20 clips today that were the offensive plays over 15 yards, and the defensive plays where we were, had takeaways, or we had, big hits and negative plays. We went through those 20 plays today, and I said, okay, now the love fest's over.
Time to move on.
Yep, now time to turn the lights on, get your pads out, and now we're getting ready to coach you hard.
Yep.
We just loved on you. We're going to coach you hard. And, as long as the kids come every day that, they're willing to get better at mastering their craft, their individual craft, we're going to be a really good football team. And, again, time will tell, how good. Don't need to predict any wins. We got this week, the next 3 days, we're 100% focused on us. Friday we're going to roll out and start planning for Callaway. Obviously, we already have a game plan in, but we're not going to practice the kids towards Callaway yet. We need to worry about, let's fix LaGrange. Let's get us as efficient as we can.
Love it. Coach, congratulations, folks. Thank you all for staying here with us tonight as we've been out on the patio at Your Pie with the Keel LaGrange Coaches Show. Again,